Hello fuckers, welcome to 2015. I'm ArchieLuxury, the host of the ArchieLuxury program. Hello fuckers. And I thought we're starting 2015 fresh, and I thought, I might just do a bit of a ArchieLuxury wristwatch collection review. My own collection. Now, I know some of you fuckers will say, oh, Archie's talking about his shit again. Well, this is the new year, and I just thought, there's a lot of new viewers coming in, and I thought I'd explain why I bought certain pieces. And I've rationalized my collection through the year. It's been a very, very tumultuous year. Very tumultuous, and, it's been very, very big changes have gone on with the collection. A lot of pieces have gone out and some newies have arrived. Who would have thought? But I gotta tell you fuckers, I've still got some really good quality pieces. And the other great thing is that I think my collection is finally balanced. I've gone back to Rolex. I was always a huge Rolex fan, and it's interesting. It's interesting what's happened, and let's have a bit of a look into it there. And firstly, I got to tell you, me being ArchieLuxury, the international YouTube celebrity, I gotta have some striking fucking pieces. I can't just have boring shit. I'm a lower middle class guy on a on starvation salary now. I mean, I've actually decided to try and push the channel full time. We'll see how long that lasts, Archie. Yeah. So look, we've got a few things that have happened there, and let's have a look. So the first piece is, which is my flagship piece, is my solid gold Submariner. Solid gold blue blue dial Submariner. Okay. It's this is a piece I really, really love. And what I love about the solid gold Submariner is that it's quite unusual. It harks back to when I had a day date in the late 90s. I actually had two. I bought one. It wasn't quite perfect. It was an 18038. It had a bit of a dodgy repair on the clasp here, and the dial was a little bit, it was starting to see its age. It was an early 80s piece. Flicked it, and then I bought a beautiful 18238, which was the current model at the time, with diamond dial. Very similar to what my friend Brian from Zircon's got. Mine was a whitey, ivory, creamy sort of dial. Brian's is a blue. So, I own that, and the Submariner harks back to that time because it's a solid gold Rolex. It's the thing I love about this too is it's got the solid gold bracelet. That bracelet really makes the piece. And I got to tell you, I had two Pateks. I had the annual calendar and I had the white gold Calatrava. Both of those were on leather straps, which is okay, nothing wrong with that. But I got to tell you, there's something about having a solid gold piece on a bracelet. Doesn't matter whether it's an oyster bracelet or a president bracelet. It's just magical to have. So I suppose the Submariner there, I've over the years, what's the biggest fuck off sort of watch to have? Well, it'd have to be a Rolex. Everyone knows Rolex. It's a great brand. It's not, and I'm not just saying that for snob value. It's a very, very usable brand. I mean, you can actually use the fucking thing. It's got waterproofing. It's got a lot going for it. So I looked at it and thought, well, a day date, GMT, a Sub, Daytona, and then I really looked at what do I really love, and I've always loved the blue and gold. I think that's a perfect combination. And I thought about it. Do I want a president? Presidents are great. The problem with the president is, do you get the 36 mil? Do you get the 41, 42 sort of mil size? Well, which one do you get? And I kind of, you know, I was in Asia a couple months back, and I went to many Rolex dealers in Hong Kong, Singapore, Bangkok, and I gotta tell you, I think the sweet spot is the 40 mil sub. You know, it's not as big as the Day-Date 2, but it's got a purpose to it. It's a great size. I just love it. I need a fuck off piece. I mean, ArchieLuxury is a very brazen character. You know, he's a bit foul-mouthed. He's got a short temper. He's angry. The world hasn't been so kind to him, so he needs something which is, you know, it's a statement piece. And I mean, on the Submariner, I gotta say, I do really miss the no date I've sold, but I use those funds from the no date to buy a GMT function piece, the Explorer 2. So the solid gold sub, I think it's a great statement piece. Not only is it a really fuck off piece, but it's really out there. You don't see a lot of them in the wild, you know, so it's a very, wow, gold sub. You know what I mean? It's just it's got that, it just pops. The next piece I bought is, because I had a bit of, you know, double up there. I had, actually, just before I go on, Thomas GXX100 made an interesting comment. He's talking about a fucking Satina, for God's sake. But he made a good point. He said $8,000 US for an Omega Seamaster chronograph. He said that's just a glorified dress watch. At $8,000 US, it's a glorified dress watch. And I suppose that's what the sub is too. I mean, it's solid gold. It's a fancy dress watch. That's what it is, really. I mean, let's be truthful. We're in a modern context. I've already broken the rules and said that you're allowed to have, you can wear expensive watches with suits. So that's what it is. It's a fancy dress watch in the modern age. The next piece is the Explorer 2. And I got to tell you, I've told this story numerous times before. My first Rolex Explorer 1, 1016, sold it to buy the Day-Date. Then I acquired a Polar Explorer 2, and I've always loved it. And when the shit hit the fan in the 90s, because I had a nice little collection of Rolex, I had a Day-Date, Steel Sub, 16610, Polar Explorer 2, and a 16013 Datejust, which is a plastic quickset two-tone Datejust. The last piece I sold off was the Polar Explorer 2. It was so usable. It was so perfect. And with the white face, it looked perfect with a suit or formal attire. Great piece. I've always loved an Explorer 2. I had the double up. I had the no date sub and I had the solid gold sub. And I thought, ooh, flick the no date and buy a GMT function. GMTs aren't good value now. I mean, seriously, on the secondary market, the pre-ceramics are fucking expensive now. They are not cheap fuckers. And I gotta tell you, I kind of thought, well, I've always loved the Polar. I don't know, it's just something. The other thing I love about an Explorer 2 is you've got that fixed steel bezel. I think that's cooler than the rotating bezel. That's just my opinion there. We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch
is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece, we adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on time, simply the best.
And I gotta tell you, the Explorer 2 Polar, it's a great piece to have. I love it. I love that fixed bezel, and fuckers, what I gotta say to you as well is that what I really love with the Explorer, I got the newer one. Okay, my good mate Brian from Zircon Security and Debt Recovery, and this has got the new lume. This glows like a fucking lighthouse, same as my gold sub. It's also got the new lume dial. It's got the solid end links, the no holes case with the solid end links, and I gotta say, this is a fucking really nice improvement. It's an evolution, not a revolution. And I gotta tell you, that watch really makes me happy. It's sort of become my go-to piece. So the Explorer 2, I've loved them for a long time. I've owned a few. I foolishly sold one off. Another good fan, Andrew in Sydney. He's friends with Greg Kinder, bought it from me. And after I balanced the sub thing, I thought I have to get a fucking another Explorer 2 Polar. Yeah, that's just the color. It's the choice. They're just fucking fantastic. So I'm really happy to have it back. I gotta say, there's many positives for the newer version. It's got the lume, the no holes case, it's got the solid end links. I'm not a big fan of the new clasp. It's got a really, I think it's a bit crappy compared to the traditional Oyster clasp. And it just, I don't know, I kind of preferred the Oyster clasp that's on the one I had, which I sold to Andrew. But there's a few little improvements. The lume, definitely that's a plus. The no holes case, on a sports watch, it was handy to just take the bracelet off with a fucking, you could just take it off so easily. So that's probably a negative. The solid end links is a big positive. Flimsy clasp, that's a negative. So yeah, it kind of swings and roundabouts, fuckers, swings and roundabouts. And then the next piece is my Breguet, fuckers, my Breguet. My Breguet. Now, you know, I've owned 3 Breguets in my life. Okay, I had a white gold dress watch Breguet, which I just very quickly bought, sold. Oh, that was late 90s. Then I had an Air Transatlantic with the date, which I sold to my good friend Mark in Perth. And after I sold it, I thought, oh, fuck. What did I sell it for? That was a really cool Breguet. And I thought, fuck, that was a bit of a mistake. But my good friend Ian the watchmaker, he had another one. He had one. And I gotta say, I thought, fuck, I'll just get it. And it was a head only, but I've managed to. This is, you know, you sort of, you do a bit. I like to have the box and papers and, you know, box and shit like that. It doesn't have papers, but I tracked down a Breguet box, I tracked down a Breguet buckle, and I've just tracked down a Breguet strap for it. So I've actually pieced it all together. It's actually going to be a really nice piece to have in the collection. I don't think I'll sell it. I think I might just keep that Breguet. It's a cool thing to have there. It's the hard thing is, do you have a Breguet or an Omega Speedmaster Man on the moon? They're getting hard to find. I mean, I sold one to a guy last year for 2,500. 2,500 Aussie, which is what? That's about $2,000 US. I'd snap at the chance to buy one for that price now. You know, they're just, it's a bit sad that, but that's how it goes. But I think the Breguet's, it's a flyback chronograph. It's got the OMMANEY movement, which is a plus because a lot of the Pateks that are very valuable now had OMMANEY based movements. I think it's just such a cool piece. I love it. I love it. The first time, see, I was never a chronograph person. First one I saw was in 2001. And I thought, fuck, that's just a nice chronograph. Just beautiful. So yeah, it was the first chronograph I really fell in love with, and it started my love for chronographs. So I think the Breguet, is it better on a strap or a bracelet? I don't think it really matters. I think the strap's nice because you can interchange it. The bracelet, you can put a strap on it as well. Look, they're both good. I think the Breguet on a leather thing is just so cool. Look at this aged leather strap. It's just got that, it just pops. It's got that vintage retro style to it there, and for that I really love it. I think it's a keeper. It's a keeper for me. You know, yes, the Breguet is they depreciate a lot, okay? They're the same price new as a Daytona. Second hand, you get them $6,000 for a nice one. Daytona 11, you know, so the Daytona is a much better proposition for retained value. But the Breguet is special, and I mean, people are fucking stupid. I mean, why is that the case? Well, a lot of people don't understand what Breguet is. They don't understand it. And, I mean, people are fucking morons. I mean, just look at some of the elected officials who've come into power. And I've got to say myself, Breguet itself, top brand, because I've gotten out of my two Pateks, they've gone, which I love that high-end watchmaking. I think Breguet and my JLC kind of let me accept that fate. So yeah, fuckers. I love my Breguet. It's a piece. I just look at it and go, wow. It's the same as my Explorer. I've just got it sitting on a cloth there, and wow, look at those numbers. Just how it's done. It just got it, and that's what I love in the pieces. I think you know, the best thing I can stress to fuckers out there is you gotta fucking buy pieces you love. You gotta love these things. You gotta buy things secondhand. Don't buy new. And you gotta buy pieces that pop to you, and that's the important thing. And I think quantity is not so important. It's quality, the quality of your collection. And if you have too many, I mean, I'll see how I go throughout the year there. We'll see whether I eat my words. But it's not a contest to have as many as you can. It's just to have some nice pieces that you love and enjoy. That's the important thing there. So that's the Breguet, fuckers.
We specialize in the repair of Rolex and Patek Philippe watches. We've been doing the same thing for more than 25 years. We have Rolex technicians certified by Rolex who actually used to work for the company for many years, like if we're doing the work on the factory. We completely disassemble the watch and we put it to work like brand new condition. When you get a pre-owned watch, it's like if you're getting a brand new unit. The only difference is the money.
I Okay, fuckers, the last piece in my collection there is my my JLC Reverso. And this is the only piece in my collection which I actually had last year. That's right, this time last year, fuckers. I think we might just christen the first drink for ArchieLuxury. Got a little bit of Ardbeg left there. Let's have a little bit of Ardbeg to celebrate the new year, fuckers. The new year. 2015. It's going to be a great year. Come on, you little fucker. Whoops. Can't waste it, can we? So, fuckers, I gotta tell you this now, you know, the JLC it's a really cool watch. And, cheers, fuckers. Very, very nice indeed. The JLC Reverso Grand Date. What a cool piece. Look at this. This fucker flips. And you got the beautiful Haute horology movement on the back there. Now, I gotta tell you, you know, in my collection before, I had some really fuck-off Pateks. But, you know, I've gotten out of those more usable watches, Archibald. So now my two Haute horology pieces are the Breguet and the Reverso. So, in many ways there, it ties in nicely. And I've got two usable Rolexes. But the Reverso, it was given to me for my 40th by my former wife there. And look, fuckers, I gotta tell you this now. If ever a woman wants to buy you a watch, you gotta fucking find the deal for her. See, I can't pay retail, I can't buy new, and I need fuck-off pieces. I don't want to be stuck with a Harold Pinchback in quartz, for fuck's sake. You gotta find the deal. I found it. She was wanting to buy me something. Boom. JLC Reverso. And her lawyers tried to take it away, but Archibald's fighting firm. No, that's mine. So there you go, fuckers. That's the JLC. I love that watch. It's a great watch. And I love JLC. It's a quality thing. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, 4 pieces. Do I want a 5th? Well, I want to reduce some of my debt. I've actually reduced a lot of it. It's all fucking, it's all quite manageable now. It's all manageable. Down to the final 16,000 on a credit card. It's coming down. That's a low rate card as well. So I thought about converting it to a personal loan, but the rate's actually cheaper on the card than on a personal loan. So I just let it stay there, and I can reduce it as quickly as I want to. I think if I was going to add a 5th piece, it'd need to be something really fuck-offish. Really fuck-offish, like a complicated Patek, an annual calendar. I really love the Patek's got some great, you know, annual calendars. The 5146, expensive, dear as poison. 5035, that's a great piece. I might actually get another one. Another thing could be a perpetual calendar. like a 3940, but I'm in no hurry, unless there's some very generous fans out there. But yeah, fuckers, that's my collection. Doesn't need to be the greatest collection. Doesn't need to be the rarest. These are just pieces that I love. I'm a lower middle class, middle-aged white guy, overweight white guy, and it's my collection. It's not to please anyone or anything like that. It's mine. So, fuckers, tell me what you think. And by the way, I don't have any second tier pieces. I long got rid of all the dog shit. All the dog shit well and truly gone, fuckers. Thank you, eBay, for getting rid of my turds.